ComputerPCRepair.com. Security issues in Microsoft Windows 16.03 and 17.03. Running a TPM Trusted Platform module with a thumb drive. The easiest way to do this is, first off, we need a thumb drive. We need to go into, insert a thumb drive into the system USB port, make sure it's 2.0 compatible to your unit. Right click on the drive, hit format the drive with the volume label, startup all capitals, FAT32, start, format, quick format. Make sure that's run. Okay? Once that is run, we come into the command prompt, gp edit dot msc and enter. Okay, we're going to come into some options here on the local group policy editor, and then we're going to have some options to the right over here. So we want this top one here that says administrative templates, and then we want Windows components, down arrow, and then we want the down arrow for Bitlocker. Operating system drives, which is right here. Let me get this. Yeah, okay. So we highlight that. Now there's an option here, as you can see, I'm enabled, require additional authentication at startup. So we double click that. This is going to pop up. Not configured, enable, and disable. You want to enable it. You want to make sure this is checked now. If it doesn't have, system board does not have the TPM module already built in it, this will be checked already because it knows you're enabling it. So you say OK to that, and that's it. You have to click OK. Do not click apply, just click OK and close out of that. Okay? So now what we want to do is to turn on Bitlocker. Is, you know, people do video shots, and this is so easy. It's simple. I mean, there's snapshots of this thing. It's not that hard to do. You right click on the drive. As you can see, this drive has a lock on it because it's already enabled and it's already been through a process. So what you want to do is you want to go to, you'll have an option to, instead of manage Bitlocker, you will turn on Bitlocker. Now if I manage Bitlocker now, I'll turn it off. So you can turn Bitlocker on and off at this feature. Under right click, turn on. Now when you turn on Bitlocker, it's going to first prompt you. Second option down is the one you want, I believe, is save key, encrypt the key to USB drive or flash drive. So you're going to save your encrypted key to this drive here, okay, that you formatted to first. Now after you do that, you most likely will see a little box appear with this startup drive in it. You're going to highlight that drive and click save, which means you're saving that key to this drive. The next step is just follow the prompts. It's very simple. The next one is going to be what do we want as far as an encryption, full level encryption or a minimal, minimal encryption or a complete encryption. A minimal encryption is very fast. It's not effective. A thorough encryption, I believe, is the second radio button down. They have one is recommended and one is thorough. I don't use the recommended one. I use the second one down, which is the one that's not recommended. It's a thorough encryption. They recommend, Windows recommends a lot of things, but it don't necessarily mean it's a thorough. Okay, it's just a quick fix. It's like the difference between an express install and a custom install. Okay, and I'm going to get into some other things with you that, excuse my video, I'm sorry if it's not so straight and perfect, but it's not the video, it's the knowledge I'm going to teach you behind it. I could have done a great presentation on this as well with PowerPoint, but I did not. So here's what we're going to do. So now that you have done that and you've saved your encrypted key and it would prompt you now, once you've done so, you'd be prompted to, Bitlocker is going to start once the system reboots. You hit restart now. So this is a very simple process to do. Now, once your system reboots, you'll probably see that Bitlocker is starting to encrypt down in the bottom sys tray over here. You could click on it, watch it encrypt if you like. That's your opinion. In here, now after we're done, if you do not have an admin password, I recommend you create one first. That should be done first. You could create one later. It doesn't matter. Bitlocker does not discriminate. I recommend creating one first. Then again, it's all preference. The other two main things is I want to address in this Windows session is there's two options here that have recently happened to Windows. One is an update of 1603 and the other one is an update of 1703. These two updates, one was released in March 2017 and the other one was released in April 2017. The 1603 update left a Windows.o file in the C directory where we know where that is. That's in here. Now, most people would be afraid to get rid of this. I did. As you can see, I'm running Windows Creator. My mail is here, and that's not there in regular Windows. So how I did this to get rid of this, because you should really only have a minimum of 7 directories in Windows. That's it. If there's more than that, then you're running something else that I don't know about. That's probably some other program that loaded its own part of Windows. But normally Windows is only 7 directory structure. 8 is a maximum. Now, in here, what we could do in the File Explorer is after the first update of 1603, it left the Windows.o. You could use CC Cleaner, as most people probably know, to uninstall that. But it's not going to get rid of all the Windows.o files. So you want to go in here and make sure your Windows.o files are still not there. If they are, right click on this, go to Properties, go to System Clean, and you see this little square up here above this drive, this little blue thing. Okay, if you see any of those blue squares in here, they look something like this. They don't have the line going through, just like a dark blue little square. Some of them say Windows Disk Cache, Windows Old Files. Now, you want to check those and you want to hit Clean Up System Files. When you do, you're probably going to get prompted with, if you delete these files, you will no longer be able to restore older versions of Windows. Now, do you really want to restore old versions of Windows? That's up to you. I personally don't recommend. You would need them anyways, and if you did, you probably would not get a good restore anyways, because you're just upgraded to Windows 10 Creator, and those updates are, you're not going to be able to probably bring your system back even if you wanted to. So as long as your system is running good, I've done this on like several systems already. There's no problem with this. It's running good. You could say yes to it and just continue. But the thing is to get rid of those Windows old files, you have to not be afraid to get rid of these directories that are in here. The other thing here is getting rid of the first set of 1603. It could be a little bit of a problem. Getting rid of 1603 is one process. If you did not update to 1703 or Windows 10 Creator, it doesn't matter. You don't have to get rid of those files first. If you want to, you can get rid of the Windows.o files first by doing what I said. The way to do it though is make sure they're going out of here. If they're not, then you got to go back again, right click Properties, Disk Clean, go through the same process. It's a little blue square that looks something like this, a little darker here. And if you see any of those inside Disk Clean, just check the box beside it and hit Clean Up System Files. Okay? And let it run its process. I don't know if it takes a half hour. Let it run, let it do what it has to do. Okay? Because it's going to take some time. Now, especially the first run. The second and third ones are not going to take that long. The other thing I'm trying to bring to a security issue here is Windows is always getting infected and corrupted on very many occasions, and I've noticed why is if you're running an SSD drive and you don't have a logical regular disk drive, old-fashioned disk drive, it's a problem because the SSD drives get cluttered even though you're deleting stuff on them. There's really no way to get rid of it. Just because you're deleting something on an SSD drive does not mean it's disappearing. It's still there. It's just laying in memory resident, just like memory, because that's SSD drive is memory. So, but it's in a drive format. So what is the best way to keep the system safe? Actually, SSD drives are fast, they're good, they're great, but they're also dangerous because they cause problems for a system in the long run. They're hard to keep clean, especially if there's conflicts in the software and you're not keeping your windows clean. That's why I'm trying to tell you to get rid of these old files and how to do them. And I think I've showed you that. As long as you're doing what I just showed you on the disk clean here, you know, you could use the CC cleaner and it's still not going to delete the complete Windows old file. It will leave flaws in the system where old files are still, the Windows.old files are still attached to the program files. You don't want that. You want to get totally rid of them files. Now, there's another thing here is once your SSD drive is complete and your operating system is installed and your updates are done, especially if you're doing a fresh install or you're just building a system, now you're going to need your logical disk drive. Your secondary drive should be a regular platter drive, conventional old hard drive. So we would install that, you know, format it, basically do a low-level format to that, and then, you know, do a write zeros to it, and then we would do a regular FAT32 or NTFS format to it, and then manage it, and then also install the file history on it. So how we would do that is, you know, to go into here is Bitlocker will enable your file history. So in here you see we have your PC is protected by Bitlocker drive and encryption. Your file directory history drive is not. So this is just thinking it's a file history drive, but it's not. So when you install your second drive, you would turn this on and you would hit run to run your file history setup. Once your file history setup is run, you're going to see, you know, it's created some directories in there and some other files. Now, it's done that for a reason, because it's backing up all of your desktop and your documents and every other file that's not supposed to be on this SSD drive that your C drive Windows is on. So you want to keep that clean, and it's recommended that you keep all downloads and all future downloads onto your secondary file history drive, and keep doing a run every once in a while and make sure your backups are going to your secondary drive. Everybody goes out and buys these backup drives and buys these nonsense backups. You don't need it. You have a secondary drive in your system. Most systems with SSD drives do, and people don't take advantage of the file history, and it's there to back up your documents, your desktop. It does everything, and the good thing about it is it lays certain files in here. And Windows 10 Creator has come up with some recent files that actually, if you're using the second drive with the file history and Bitlocker, if you delete something from the secondary drive, it does not go into the recycle bin. It's completely deleted off the drive, which means it's gone. But the other way we could get rid of these files is we cannot permanently shred them off of the system using CC cleaner, because that's not too reliable. Every file coming off of the logical disk drive, platter drive, which holds your, you know, your platters, not the SSD. You would use Kaspersky is good. I like it, and then go to more tools, and then go to show 5 more, and here is your file shredder, and your privacy cleaner, and your unused data cleaner. These 3 tools are very good. The only thing is after your privacy cleaner and unused data cleaner, you may need to reboot your system, especially if you're running CC cleaner. But just if I wanted to shred this file, I would. If this is an SSD, I wouldn't be able to, so I would have to browse to my other drive over here and grab that and say select it, and or in here type my path of my drive and grab it and then hit delete. And this is recommended for all use on all drives, but not SSD. So that's what I'm trying to say as far as keeping the system clean and virus free. The only way we're going to be able to do that is to do what I'm doing here. If you have any further questions on this or concerns, it's from computerpcrepair.com. You can contact me, send me an email. I'd be glad to help you out. I hope you enjoyed this video and give me a thumbs up. Any further questions? The other one thing I wanted to say to you though is, I don't know if I told you on the Windows 10 Creator download, I don't know if I did, I'm going through so much stuff here, is the Windows 10 Creator download update is going to leave 3 files on your system. One is going to leave, now if you haven't downloaded it already, or you haven't caught it through your actual system update of running a regular Windows update, you're going to have to go to Microsoft.com and download the Windows 10 Creator update. Now after you download that update, it's going to run, it's going to leave 3 files on your system. It's going to leave 1 inside the C drive, 1 inside the download, and 1 inside the desktop as a shortcut. As long as you keep going in and running the cleaner, as I said, into the C drive in here, properties, okay, and doing what I said, trust me, you're not going to have any problems getting rid of even the upgrade that you downloaded. You don't need the upgrade in there. It's going to leave the Windows 10 Creator download in your downloads over here. And once you get rid of all those blue check marks with Disk Cleaner, then you could delete that. You could delete it from your downloads, you could delete it from your desktop, and you could also delete it from your Windows directory. So they go into the recycle bin. I've noticed one thing, I was a little scared when I first did it. Just reboot the system, you'll see everything's fine, and then I emptied the recycle bin. I think I was prompted with a little something of, you need administrative privileges, real flash, real quick, and then it just went away. But I think I'm a little bit one step ahead of Microsoft. I think they're trying to come out with a way right now to get rid of that upgrade that's stuck inside the Windows 10 directory, because it's not needed. And I don't have it, and my system is running fine. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and thumbs up, thank you.